talked a lot about the return of Community, and it's a show that you want to tease, you want to get people excited to return, and yet sometimes the promo has been giving a lot away, and I'm wondering how you guys, I warned Yvette I was going to ask her this, how you guys feel about teasing something versus spoilers. Like, when do you think that there's that line between I've said too much and now I've ruined it for the fans?
Well, you want to start?
I would like to start.
You start, because you.
This is like my soapbox.
I felt a big soapbox.
This is my soapbox moment on Twitter. I really feel like if you're the kind of person that wants to know what happens, there should be a place you can go to find out everything you want to know. But I think it's really wrong to just like kamikaze announce on Twitter and blogs what's happening, because I like to enjoy entertainment. If it's a show that I like to see it. Like, you can tell me a guest star is coming, but don't tell me who he is. Don't tell me the plot. And someone on Twitter called it ruiners. There's spoilers, then there's ruiners. A spoiler is something that gets you excited, like, oh, Malcolm Jamal Warner, yay. A ruiner is, and when he's there, he's going to do this, this, and this, and this scene is going to happen. It's like, come on. And I think sometimes it's this desire to be able to go, I was the first to know. You don't get a gold star for, do you? Did they give out gold stars for knowing first? I don't know.
No.
Oscar winner Jim Rash.
Yeah. Point, counterpoint. For me, I want to know everything. No. I think it's okay to tease as long as you don't give you, but you hide something. One thing that will be a surprise.
Right.
Because I think about, maybe this is some generational thing, but I think about, I didn't know what was going to happen in Superman 2.
Right.
There was never. It's also just the fact of how we are obsessed with the way we get our information. Mm-hmm. I think we've changed, because you think about those days and you're just like, oh, I hear that Superman might be fighting alter egos. I don't know. You know, you didn't see anything. You didn't. It was a long time to get the trailer, and that was right before it came out. So.
Sometimes this trailer was just like the logo of Superman. Mm-hmm. We're not in the same generation by any stretch of the imagination, but when you were a kid, before I was born.
Right.
You remember? No. Yeah, no, but I remember, like, with Superman, you would see just the logo. Like, just seeing the logo in summer or whatever was enough to go, oh, I gotta go see it. It didn't matter. You trusted the filmmakers, you trusted the actors, and it was going to be wonderful whenever you got to it. I could talk about this all day, so we probably should move on.
Well, were there any storylines that are coming up in the back half of season 3 that you were upset that already got out?
I wish no one knew about the Law and Order episode.
But you talked about it.
No, I talked about it after it was already leaked. Like,
okay.
One thing you'll know about me, I never spoil. Like, I'll get a talking points list from Sony or NBC, and I go, I'm not saying that. So I'm very protective of our storylines, and so once it was out, I confirmed it, but I didn't want it to be out. I really wanted them to tune in one day and go, oh, is this a Law and Order? I wanted that excitement, and I've said this before about our fans. Our fans, the 12 of them are so, God bless them, they're amazing, but they're so creative, and if they get enough plot points, they could do a fan fiction that would rival, whatever we could come up with, and so I don't like them to have too much for their minds to go, because then what we do might be a letdown.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I started a blog called Jim Rash is going to tell you everything. And I just really ran with that Law and Order thing.
Oh, Rash.
No, I think there's some still good stuff. I'm excited, even with that extended trailer they showed during the soup. One, it got me very excited.
Me too.
And maybe it's because we were off for a while, so part of it was like, oh, that's right.
I don't remember half the stuff we did either. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I was dressed like that.
Right.
But I still think there's plenty of stuff that is not there that will be a surprise for a lot of people. So that's good. As long as the teaser saves something.
Right.
I think it's good.
Do you each have a favorite episode of what's coming up? I mean, without having to say what's in it.
The Law and Order is.
Well, I mean, it's out there for a reason. The Law and Order thing.
It's really good. Really and it's when we were doing the table read, because all of us are like nerds. Like, we all love Lost, we all love Law and Order. Hello, and so it was kind of like we were in the table read, and it was like, let someone else join.
I know, but for this right here, they're gonna be like,
what is wrong? Someone just entered.
Crazy.
Someone entered. Just talking to the wind. No, we were in the table read, and every time the chung chung was said, everybody in the room wanted to be the first one to get it out, because we were all so like geeked, So that's my favorite that's coming.
Yeah.
You too?
I would agree, because we said at the same time.
We did say it. I agree.
Okay. More specifically, I was doing a story on actors' favorite scenes. So could you talk about a favorite scene of something, and it could be any season. I just need the episode name and why.
My My favorite scene is coming up in the returning episode. It's when it's a scene with Malcolm Jamal Warner, and I will not say what happens, but I told him it needed to be the most romantic thing that ever happened to me, and he made it the most romantic thing that has ever happened to me. So that's my favorite scene. It's in Sandwich Arts and Matrimony and Matrimony and Sandwich Arts. It's the first time you see Malcolm and Shirley together in the episode.
Okay.
I think for me, my favorite was probably getting to Kiss from a Rose with
it's so good.
With Joel. Mainly because I think that whole episode, everyone got split off, and it was really fun to have just a week with just one person and sort of build that relationship. And plus, I had been sort of stuck at the school, because I'm an administrative, and so it was hard for me to. So to blackmail was the best way to get me out, and so I was all for it because I think all those little pieces help to grow these characters evolve.
And it's always a different dynamic when it's just you and one other person, don't you feel?
You can sort of focus. And you had a lot of stuff with Joel
this year. Yeah, this
Jeff
year is the first time.
Yeah, and Shirley with the foosball, and there's some more coming up, and that's just a nice relationship to grow into.
Dan?
Next.
Dan Harmon was talking on his blog about how everybody needs a hug, and that's kind of a big general feel of the show is that even when you guys are arguing with each other, what great friends you all are. And I'm just wondering if is that something that sort of permeates when you guys are doing your work.
Yeah. I think we'll go first.
I think so. As far as you mean, are working together and the love that's there, I do. I think the long hours go faster when everyone's on set, and people always go, like my mom was like, "I want to come see your trailer." I said, "Believe me, it's nothing to see. It's just Native American art inside of a really gross, like sort of casket size thing." But I spend very little time in there. I spend time just. Even if I'm not working, I'd rather be on set, sort of.
We always stay, in between takes, we stay on set. And, our set is probably the loudest set I've ever worked on, the rowdiest, but also the most fun because everyone is free to just be as freaky as they individually are. Whatever you find funny, whatever makes you laugh, whatever you think will make someone else laugh, we're empowered to just be ourselves. And I think a lot of that playfulness is what makes it into... the show, because we talked about this at the Paley Center. There's this thing that Ken does called Chang Tung, and it literally is something he does just to make us laugh. And so there's times in different scenes when we're kind of giggling, or there's a bubbly energy to a scene. It's probably because like 5 minutes before Donald did something really ridiculous or Danny did something ridiculous, and it kind of carries into the fun of the scene. So, yeah.
Do you ever
hug?
Do you ever find that those things make it into the show? Something like, because now Chang Tung is out there. I mean, God, I
you can see. You can look at a lot of episodes. You'll see Chang Tung.
He's probably just doing it.
Yeah, our show is funny because if you pay attention in the background, you'll see a lot of stuff that was not scripted. Just little silly things that everyone does to. We did a whole scene. It was I think it was the diorama episode or the flashback episode last year, where Donald's rear end was out the entire scene. It wasn't in the, you don't see it, but we acted with his rear end out, and it's in the bloopers where we're acting, and I keep, he keeps looking at me, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I finally see it like 5 minutes later that his butt was out, and that's something everyone else around the table knew that he was doing that to make me go, oh, Donald, So in the whole scene, they're acting knowing that any second I'm going to notice that his butt is out. So it's like little things like that. 30 things like that.
It's Easter eggs.
Literally
a
butt Easter egg.
So, one more thing that I'm doing
yes,
is actors' 3 favorite TV shows and why. So,
currently or of all time?
All time.
All time.
Well, preferably something we could get clips from.
Easy. Cosby Show, Golden Girls. Oh, it's rough. The third one is rough because I want to say like 3 different ones.
Okay, well, while you're thinking, why did you like the Cosby Show?
Cosby Show because it showed black people in a way that was aspirational. Like, I grew up poor in East Cleveland, and I'd never seen that level of culture and, whatever in a home. And it made me want to strive for it. I understand that a lot of times entertainment is gritty and real, but if you're seeing the gritty and the real, I can look out the window and see gritty and real. I'd like to see something that makes me think that things can be better. So that's what I loved about that. Golden Girls, because it was just masterful writing and acting. Those 4 women were genius. in individual ways. Like all of them were so well drawn that a scenario would be happening in the room, and one would walk in, and you knew exactly how that character would respond to what was happening in the room. And then I want to go with like Friends and Seinfeld like together, because they showed friendships in a new way that I think television hadn't seen, and they like expanded the multi-camera genre. I think they're the precursors to single camera in the sense that they had a different look. Like they were multi-camera, but they looked more single camera in the way the film that was used or whatever. So I think they kind of led us into the next level.
Well, I would say I think of the things that were like appointment television for me. Cause
in your generation.
In my generation.
Yes.
My generation.
Tell us about the whole time.
Okay, I don't know if you remember Seinfeld.
So long ago.
No, but I remember being in college, and you didn't, unless you knew how to program your VCR, you were at home to see that show.
That's true.
And so I love that aspect of it. Even though you could DVR Lost, I had to watch it that night because I didn't want anyone spoiling anything. I didn't want to read anything. I loved Lost from beginning to end.
Me too.
And then more current, and there's tons of TV. I was a TV junkie when I was a kid, so I watched so many. But what I would say in current, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which those are the three guys. This was early on when they were shooting that thing. I remember seeing them down like. It was Beverly area, and I literally was the first time I chased someone down just to say that I love your show.
Your work.
Yes.
I did that with the Friday Night Lights cast. It was ugly.
I did the other night there was some party. I don't know why.
I just did it with
I stopped
Gosler.
Tom Colicchio for. I think he was really
Jim
scared.
and I will stop anybody. We'll stop me and Jim and the cast will stop anybody and tell them I love your work.
Thank you for loving my judging on the show. I can't cook. I just like that show.
I know.
All right.
We're fans of people.
Watch too much TV.
We watch way
And have
too
you heard
much
from
TV.
Jennifer Lopez?
Jennifer Lopez.
Angelina Jolie.
Oh, you mean Angelina Jolie?
Jolie.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I haven't heard from Jennifer Lopez at all. She's not called me. She has.
I like Jennifer's dress better.
No, I haven't. No.
Huh? I thought she might have a sense of humor.
Oh, I'm sure she does. I'm
Yeah,
sure,
I'm
but
sure
I
she
wouldn't
does.
say I would hear from her. But I thought she was having fun that night.
She was
before
having
I even got up on that stage, and so that I thought it was more of like an homage to her having fun and me selling my moment. So the way people take it. But
is there a storyline that you're hoping your characters will get that you haven't done yet?
I've said this so many times. I feel like it will never happen.
Something we hope to happen.
That we hope that is to happen.
I've said the same thing too.
I've never
but
worked
I like
with
to say it.
Donald, and I would love to work with Donald one-on-one. I've worked with everyone. We've even done like a lot of stuff as Shirley and the Dean. But I've never had a storyline with Shirley. There's never been a Shirley and Troy storyline. So I would love to work with him.
I think Donald's sending that message
He's
to
big
them.
that he doesn't want
to work with
I
them.
know. It's really, Donald is saying
happens,
no.
though.
It does
He's a
happen.
mean-spirited.
Why didn't you tell him how great it was with me? Why are you doing that?
I'll try. It's just I don't want to lie.
Damn.
I'm kidding.
Oscar with a Jim Rash.
Were you asking a scene we want to do with it, or like a
storyline, something that you would like to see your character do, or something that happens?
Well, storyline for everybody. I want them to somehow work Sid and Marty Krofft into a spoof.
Love that from your childhood.
Hey, thank you. Again, you acted as if you knew exactly what I was talking about. H&R puppet stuff, like puppets and weird psychedelic
I want Muppets.
stuff.
I want Muppets. That would make me happy if we could do
I think
Muppets.
you said Muppets, but
I said that
like that
1,000 times
psychedelic
too.
stuff, which isn't easy. We can easily make that happen. But I don't know. This year in particular, I think it was getting to do the documentary episode. I felt like you start to learn a little bit more about the Dean, And so anything that continues that path, whether it be home life, which I would love to see,
I would love to see,
or just anything that shows you why these people tick. I'm always up for that stuff, and any characters,
Do you still have dream guest stars that you'd love to see on the show? I mean, I feel like Malcolm was yours, but beyond.
I can't ask for more than that.
I know. It feels like
Sandra Bullock. I love her. That's a pipe dream.
You said that a lot.
I know. I keep hoping she'll come. She won't come, will she?
She did an episode with George Lopez, so you know.
She did, but she's she just kind of discovered him or brought him to the forefront.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably anyone I'm mistaken for. So we can get Moby and Steve Soderbergh. That would be fun.
Hilarious.
They'll all play my brothers.
Yes.
No.
You have a sister.
Anybody.
Do you have a sister?
What? I have a sister, yeah.
Do you? Okay. I thought it was like the boyfriend in Canada. People say, my girlfriend's in Canada, like your sister's like the
Oh, I
one that
made it
you.
up.
Yeah,
Why would you make up a sister?
So you can
Yes.
wear those clothes.
I have.
So you
Oh,
can
mine.
wear
Oh, I thought you meant in
those
real life.
clothes. No, I'm talking about the Dean.
Oh, I'm
We're
sorry.
talking about
I thought you
Community.
were talking about personal life.
No, I know you have a sister in real life. I'm saying,
Oh, do you think I make it up?
I think the Dean
Oh,
made up
I
the
think
sister.
that's made up. Yeah.
Or it could just be Sandra Bullock.
Or
Everyone thinks it's made up, and then it turns out.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she definitely did not wear that 4th of July outfit. She would not have. Yeah.
We have 1 minute left.
Oh, 1 minute. Oh no.
Any more musical episodes? If you get another season, and you better get another season, would you want to do another musical?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I think that's what's great about Dan and our writers. It's like they find a way to, even with paintball, something's different, you know. And we do have sort of a sequel for a particular thing from last year, which I won't say. But they found a new way to tell that story.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, you're right.
And without just feeling you're repeating yourself. So I feel like if there was a possibility to do sort of another Glee story, which I think easily with Taryn escaping.
Taryn was great. He
Taryn
was so great.
escaping from whatever, if he went to jail, I don't know.
I don't think he did. I think he just
No,
escaped.
he just ran
He's on the
away.
lam.
We didn't even chase him.
He's on the lam.
We didn't even stop him after he confessed
We have
to
very
murder.
short attention spans on the show.
Oh, that show, yes, for sure.
Greendale people have short attention
But
spans.
I would love to. I would love to sing.
Have you guys ever borrowed anything from the set that you've forgotten to return?
Oh, from
Borrowed from the
I don't want anything
set.
that any of my clothes. If
Yeah,
asking
you're-
for
I know-
clothes.
yeah, your
I have
clothes.
Is there anything you just kind of forgot to bring back?
I walked out with a Shirley wig once, and it was just on my head, and I went home. I was very tired, and it was on my head, and I went home, and I woke up like with it plastered to the side of my face, and realized, oh my God, I left with Shirley's hair. So yeah, but I returned it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's things I would want to steal, but I'm not.
What would you want to steal?
Well, there's some great props.
Yeah, I want Conchata Panecos, the little ventriloquist dummy from the first season when we did the protest. He's been in all of our season pictures, all of our rap pictures.
Oh, that's
I'd want
right.
him.
Yeah.
I'd want to kind of find a way to get him out of there.